As for the idea of the pyramid specifically, the hierarchical shape was associated with the idea of the origin of the universe, and they also believed, according to some of their writings and religious texts, that the pyramid and its means help the soul of the deceased to reach the sky with the deity Ra. And we can sometimes see the sun's rays among the clouds as it takes a pyramidal shape as well, and it was like this. Among these are the many means that can help them ascend to heaven. We also see the hierarchical shape on top of the obelisks and some small cemeteries for individuals in southern Egypt. Even when the kings of the modern state thought of building their tombs on the western mainland in the Valley of the Kings and pecking them at the bottom of the mountain to protect them from theft, they did not abandon the hierarchical shape that was represented at the top of the mountain itself naturally. The construction of the Great Pyramid took nearly 20 years and the construction of the corridors and the lower parts of the pyramid 10 years, according to what was mentioned by Herodotus, the Greek historian who visited Egypt in the 4th century BC after more than 2,000 years of building the pyramid and heard these and other accounts from some priests and narrators. The stones used in the construction of the Great Pyramid were cut from the area surrounding the pyramid, the outer cladding stones from the Togar mountain area, and the granite stones used in the inner rooms of the Aswan quarries, and they were brought through the Nile River, which was reaching the pyramid area at that time. The stones were cut and separated from each other by making holes at close distances in the piece of stones to be cut. Then some wooden pegs would be pushed into it and knocked over it with water placed on it, and the more wood was drunk with water. Its size increased inside the piece of stone, and with the continuation of the knocking on it, it separated from each other and then completed refine and polish it using a stronger stone type such as granite or diorite. The ancient Egyptians used a sandro to build the pyramids, where the pieces of stones are placed on wooden skis, below which are round palm tree trunks that act like wheels, and skis are pulled with ropes and bowls with water sprayed on the sand to facilitate the process of drawing. And the higher the height, they increase in the sand to the top of the pyramid, and then the pyramid is covered with smooth limestone from top to bottom, remove sand gradually. Many people believe that the greatness of the pyramid lies in the way it was built, and in fact, their talk is an aspect of truth. The Great Pyramid, for example, is an artificial mountain weighing 6,500,000 tons, and is made of stones that weigh almost 12 tons. And the stones are perfectly aligned and set to the point of half a millimeter, and this truly deserves the full admiration of the ancient Egyptian civilization. But the matter is much greater than that, as the pyramid is one of the biggest mysteries that humanity has faced since the beginning of civilization. Many have claimed that it is just a luxurious tomb for King Khufu. But scholars of the current era think this view is ironic, as the Great Pyramid was built for a greater and greater purpose. The evidence for this is the amazing facts that this great edifice has compiled by Charles Smith in the famous book Our Heritage at the Great Pyramid in 1864 AD. So the height of the pyramid multiplied by 1 billion equals 14,967,000 kilometers, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. And the orbit that passes in the center of the pyramid divides the continents of the world into two completely equal halves. And that the base of the pyramid divided by twice its height gives us the famous circle constant 3.14 given in calculators. And that the four corners of the pyramid point to the original four directions in amazing accuracy. So that some scientists once indicated that there is a slight angle of deviation from the original sides, but after the discovery of modern electronic devices for measurement, it was proved that the angles of the pyramid are the most correct and accurate. One of the most important things that dazzles in the construction of these pyramids is how accurately the construction of internal corridors, waiting rooms, and the king's burial room. As for the pyramid of the pharaoh of Khora, famous for Menkaure, scholars have noticed that it contains a small circular gap that does not exceed 20 centimeters in diameter. Archaeologists were able to find out the secret of the existence of that gap after a very accurate observation, as it was found that the sun's rays enter through that gap only one day a year to the tomb of the pharaoh from Kharat completely, and astonishingly, this day coincides with the birthday of the pharaoh.